Hello, good afternoon. This is Jason Carlasio. Bear with me here. Let's get everything going. This is Jason Carlasio, talking again. Once I'm back here, conservative politics, mafia history. I've been focused a lot on uh, conservative politics with the election coming up. I want to talk about the debate tonight with Trump Harris debate. I predict that, give you my own predictions, what's going to happen. I think with Mike's off, I foresee this is Trump's to lose. I see him winning the debate. I think the strategy he has to use on this is just let Harris speak. Don't say much. The more she talks, the more she makes Trump look good. That's basically the strategy that he has to use on this here. And I predict that Trump will win this debate. He will be successful in this debate here. And um, I foresee that this is really Trump's to lose this election. I think something has to be talked about too is the under ticket too. That's very, very important for Trump to carry the under ticket, which he will do. I predict that Trump will have a good showing. The Republicans will regain the Senate. They'll pick up seats in the House, some governorships. Also has to be talked about. How about state legislatures too? That's very important too. I like to see the Republicans here in Connecticut make some gains in the state House, the state Senate. Very important. George Logan, I hope he wins. Go George, 5th District. Beat Joanna Hayes. Joanna Hayes to me is just she's part of the squad, whether she admits it or not. She's part of the squad, and all she is, she's a Washington insider, and I can't think of one thing that she's really accomplished. What good has she done? You tell me. And what could she say? Oh, I've done so much in Washington. Well, what if you have? And you know what I find a little interesting here? That her husband, retired law enforcement or so, that her husband is backing her when it's the Democrats that want to defund the police. They're the ones that are soft on crime. So I don't understand that. I don't understand how, in law enforcement, anybody could be a Democrat, but they're bragging, oh, he's ex-cop. And then they're saying taking guns off the street. No, what about taking criminals off the street? Everybody keeps going, especially this Georgia shooting now. You're going to hear the Democrats, oh, the guns, the guns, the guns. It's not the guns. It's the person that did it. And that's a part that's really got to be emphasized, that this isn't it's not the guns, it's the person. The gun is just a tool to commit crime. Sorry, I'm just trying to get adjusted here today a little bit. But it's not the what do you call it? It's not the guns, it's the person that's committing the crime. And how many guns are not committed? How many crimes are committed without a gun? And how many lives has the Second Amendment saved? Let's push that. How many lives the Second Amendment saved? See Joanna Hayes saying, oh, get guns off the street, get criminals off the street, longer prison terms for violent criminals. The emphasis to me has become all nonviolent crime and what's going on. No, instead of going after Trump and all the Republicans, this lawfare, Peter Navarro, whoever else, going after all these people, Steve Bannon, I feel bad for Steve Bannon too. Instead of going after these good people, why not go after people, start going after the real criminals, the violent criminals? That's what has to be done. That's what should be done. But obviously that's not talked about, going out of violent criminals. Let's just blame the guns. If you only outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. And I see that Kamala Harris is pushing more and more about pushing more and more about gun confiscation. She even said it. She wants a mandatory buyback program for guns. Isn't that scary? And they keep saying assault rifles, assault rifles. Well, what's an assault rifle? Number one, most guns aren't even committed with an assault rifle. Nobody talks about that. Most of them are committed with handguns, actually on the lower caliber side. And these are people that don't know anything about guns, shouldn't be saying anything. How many lives does the Second Amendment save? And wants a mandatory buyback. It's full gun confiscation. That's what some people in this country want. And Kamala Harris is one of them. She wants to take away your right to own a firearm. Isn't that scary? And that it wants to repeal. If we take away the Second Amendment, throw out the whole Constitution for that matter. But that's what she wants. Well, I like to ask her. For years, Washington, D.C. had a ban on handguns. So did Chicago. They were the murder capitals of the country. Washington, D.C., our nation capital, one time was the murder capital of this country. And there was a ban on guns, handguns in Washington, D.C. It didn't stop the criminals. They're not going to stop at the border, going from Virginia or Maryland into Washington. Oh, we got to drop our guns off. We can't go in. Guns are illegal. It's like criminals. They're not the ones getting the permits. It's the honest people. And, criminals aren't going to say, okay, guns are illegal. Let's give up our guns. We're going to turn in our guns. It's going to do well before they rob that bank or murder someone. They're going to say, "Let me get my gun registered. Let me get my permit." It doesn't work that way, and these far left loons, either they don't understand it, don't want to understand that, and by the way, too, we have somebody that is running against Chris Murphy. I forgot his name. Might slip my mind right now. I like to see Chris Murphy get beat or have a very good showing. But here's another thing that has to be talked about too. I think you're starting to see the honeymoon period with Kamala Harris. Uh, it's starting to wind down. It's starting to go away, and you're seeing Trump build more and more in the polls. Trump's getting back to where he was before Harris was in the race, when Biden was still in the race, where you had, uh, you know, right now, I believe all the swing states are in play. And all the swing states, they're in play for Trump, but he's ahead in all these swing states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada. Trump is ahead in those states, a lot larger than people think. And these polls are very accurate. Because I remember last time with Wisconsin, there was a poll. Oh, Biden's going to win in 2020. He's going to win Wisconsin by 8 points. He barely won it. Wisconsin was by a half a point, a quarter of a point. And there was some shenanigans going on there. But these polls are way off. I don't buy them. I like Gold Crown Politics. Please turn to Gold Crown Politics. He is dead accurate, and he goes by job approval. And he was dead accurate in 2016, 2020. He's going to be accurate this time. But what I'm saying, what you were seeing is Trump was starting to get states that people didn't expect when Biden was still in the race. But you're going to see that now. After this debate tonight, I think Trump, not only is he going to win states like what they consider swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Trump has a very good chance of winning Virginia, Minnesota. A lot of people in Minnesota don't like Tim Walz. They know he's a far left loon. Look how he responded to the riots in 2020. He let basically Minneapolis burn to the ground and other places in Minnesota. But I think you're going to see Trump good shot at winning Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Nevada. New Mexico. I'm sorry. So, in addition to the swing states of Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, he has a very good chance, I believe, after tonight, when he crushes Kamala Harris in the debate. I believe he's going to have a good chance of winning Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New Mexico, and Maine, too. I believe Maine's going to be in play. Not just the second district, but the whole state of Maine will be in play. And I know Nebraska splits their votes. I forget the district. Is it the 4th district, the 3rd district out there? I believe Trump will win that in Nebraska, too. But again, not to repeat myself, but I believe Trump, very good chance of winning after tonight's debate. You're starting to see it go back to when Biden was in the race. And when Biden was still in the race, people were saying he was going to win these states of Virginia, Minnesota, Maine, New Hampshire, New Mexico. Well, after tonight's debate, I'm going to predict, again, not repeat myself, but Virginia, New Hampshire, Maine, and New Mexico. And we get that right again. Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine, and New Mexico. After tonight, Trump has a very excellent shot at winning all those states. I predict he's actually going to win some of them. And you know what? I think the way it's going, he'll win all the states. Another state people are forgetting is New Jersey. That's a state that's moving to the right. I believe Trump has an excellent shot at winning New Jersey. He has an excellent shot at winning New York, too. Some people look at me funny. I think he has an outside shot at winning Connecticut. Because here's what the Democrats can't count on. They can't count on the urban areas anymore because a lot of your blacks, Hispanics, Trump's doing over 20% with the blacks. He's, I believe, closing in some polls on 25% of the black vote. With the Hispanic vote, he's closing in on 50%. Kamala Harris cannot win with those numbers. She has to do better than that. She can't lose uh, over 20% of the black vote and lose 50% of the Hispanic vote and win. She can't win with those numbers. Trump gets over 20% of the black vote, goes to 50% of the Hispanic vote, he will win. And they can't count on the urban areas. They can't count on Philadelphia, Pittsburgh to carry them like last time, because a lot of your blacks, Hispanics, do not like Harris. They don't like the Democrats and what they've done. So they can't count on the cities. They can't count on the urban areas in New Jersey, and Newark, Trenton, all those places, Camden. They can't not count on those cities to put them over the top. In New York, they can't count on, oh, they'll get the Bronx, they'll get Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens to carry New York State. They cannot count on that anymore. So they know they're in trouble. For that reason, and I believe people are more enthused about Trump than Harris coming out. Trump has an excellent shot at winning New York State. I believe Connecticut. A lot of people here, Waterbury, Hartford, New Haven, Bridgeport. I don't believe they're in the bag for Kamala Harris. They're not in the bag for the Democrats too. That's another thing. There's a Senate race in Pennsylvania. McCormick, I like to see him win that seat in Pennsylvania. I think he has a very good chance of winning there. And basically, the Republicans have to win 2 seats, take control of the Senate without a tie-breaking vote. I like to see him pick up some more seats, so there's some margin of error there. But I predict that I think the Republicans are going to get 53, 54 seats in the Senate. In the House, I think they're going to get around 235, 240. That's my prediction. I think they're going to pick up some governorships, state legislatures. I think they're going to do very well in Connecticut here. I think they're going to go well in the state legislature in New York, New Jersey, all those other states too. I like to see that. But I'm making a prediction that Trump's going to win by a larger margin than people realize. I think Trump has an excellent chance at New York, New Jersey of getting those, because here's why I'm looking at it. The Democrats, they cannot count on the urban vote. They can't count on the blacks and Hispanics to win. Many blacks and Hispanics, they love Trump. Look at the turnout in the Bronx. They love Trump. They do not like Harris. Harris is very far left. What has she done? What is her accomplishments? You know, talking about price controls. She wants to take health insurance away from 170 million Americans. You want to take away your private health insurance. Oh, everybody needs coverage. You have coverage right now. And you know what? People say, oh, you can't get health care. Hospitals can't refuse you. So you have health care. If people have health care and ask for health care coverage, it's there. You could go out and get it. I mean, if you're too poor, you're covered by Medicaid. If you're older, you're on Medicare, disability, you're on Medicare. But you have coverage. And she wants a Canadian style healthcare system where 2 years for a hip replacement. Can't get a heart transplant over 70 in Canada. And you can't get the medications you need. And that's another thing they said for years too. Oh, about putting price controls on medication. Yeah, all it does is results in shortages. Price controls result in shortages. Just look at Venezuela. Look at the former Soviet Union. What happened there back in the Soviet Union. Look what happened in the U.S.